What if the most important question in investing isn't why am I right, but what would prove me dead wrong? Most people spend their lives chasing confirmation, but the elite treat investing like an applied science to find the truth. We often feel like investing is just an art, guided by gut feelings and intuition that we can't quite explain. The danger is that your investment thesis, your rationale for buying, can quickly turn into a stubborn pet belief. Once you're convinced a company will dominate, confirmation bias creeps in, making you blind to any contradictory news. To break this, we use the principle of falsifiability. A hypothesis is only valid if it can be proven wrong. Philosopher Karl Popper argued that a theory explaining everything after the fact actually predicts nothing at all. Flipping the script means designing your thesis specifically to be falsifiable by listing the evidence of failure. Start by making your hypothesis explicit. List your rationale in a table to clarify exactly what you're watching. Be specific. Revenue will grow 20%, but I'm wrong if it falls below 10% or share drops. It isn't just numbers. You can use qualitative signals like pricing power, customer loyalty, or even talent density. These qualitative tripwires often precede the financial rot, giving you a systematic way to detect mistakes early. This approach stops the sunk cost fallacy, where you throw good money after bad simply out of pride. Try starting with a small position. Treat it like a small-scale laboratory trial before you scale up. Conduct a premortem. Imagine the investment has already failed spectacularly and brainstorm exactly why it happened. Billionaire George Soros says he only survived by recognizing his mistakes quickly and shortening the feedback loop. Historical backtesting can help too. Check if your recession-proof idea survived past crises or was repeatedly refuted. Charles Darwin used this mindset by writing down every contradicting fact immediately so his mind wouldn't forget them. When a news item introduces even a slight doubt, record it immediately. Don't rationalize it away in the moment. A falsifiable thesis framework is a powerful check on your ego. You've made a pact to stay objective. For a SaaS company, don't just say they are visionary. Set a tripwire for net dollar retention levels. If retention drops below 105%, the thesis is broken. No excuses, just facts. For consumer goods, look at distribution growth and review ratings. If they stall, it signals brand fatigue. In fintech, track monthly active users and daily engagement. 2 quarters of decline means it's time to reevaluate. Hardware manufacturers must hit unit sales and partnership milestones, or their competitive advantage is likely overstated. Marketplace businesses rely on supply-side listings. If landlords report declining revenue per square foot, the flywheel is stalling. Luxury brands need sustainable pricing power. If margins compress below 60%, the designs aren't iconic enough. Health tech depends on regulatory milestones like FDA clearance. Missing these within 18 months suggests underestimated hurdles. Setting these measurable tripwires helps you resist the urge to wait just one more quarter. You treat your thesis as invalidated unless new evidence truly overturns the negative trend you've observed. This doesn't mean you automatically sell everything, but it compels you to review with fresh, objective eyes. Shifting your mindset to actively search for disconfirming evidence is uncomfortable, but it's where the growth is. You become your own devil's advocate, challenging your own theories just as a scientist would. Real-world investing isn't a perfect lab, but listing hypotheses in a spreadsheet makes your betting transparent. For example, vertical integration gives us a competitive edge. I'm wrong if EBIT margins fall to peer levels. If frequent project delays or quality issues occur, that supposed execution advantage has completely vanished. If a record-high backlog doesn't convert to revenue growth, then the visibility of organic expansion was a mirage. Public sector demand is a tailwind, but if government-funded contracts drop by 20%, that hypothesis is dead. Taking a small loss sooner is always better than suffering a massive, avoidable loss much later. Freeing up mental energy from underperformers allows you to deploy it into new, stronger hypotheses. Falsifiability is effectively a stop-loss on your conviction, protecting you from your own ego and pride. It transforms the game into a series of trials where agility and open-mindedness win over stubbornness. Li Lu said investing is about intellectual honesty, knowing what you know, and mostly, what you don't. Munger and Darwin knew our minds try to forget inconvenient details, so they trained themselves to record them. Every new data point is a test. If your position is still in your portfolio, it hasn't tripped your alarms yet. There will always be an element of art and intuition, especially with those hard-to-quantify qualitative factors. But being scientific makes you more deliberate, self-aware, and ultimately more successful in the long run. It is incredibly liberating to have an answer to your failures before they ever happen. Start today. Ask yourself what would convince me I'm wrong. Then, build the system to listen for the answer.